This is actually way bigger than I was expecting, and is a huge success for Square Enix and Final Fantasy as a whole. When you consider the fact that Final Fantasy 16 is only available on one console, and that same console has experienced large shortages during its lifespan, it's pretty impressive to see that it's been confirmed that 16 has officially, digitally and physically sold a total of 3 million copies over the last 6 days. And in this new generation of gaming, especially taking a risk in massive gameplay changes, it seems to have paid off. For more Final Fantasy coverage, be sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell to help raise that 21% even higher. And to stay up to date, 7 years ago, Final Fantasy 15 still has the series' record for the biggest launch in the history of Final Fantasy, pushing 5 million total between Xbox and PlayStation. Rightfully so, their promo and hype driving that game was unlike anything the series had seen before. It recently, in 2022, 6 years later, just broke 10 million total across PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, as well as PC, which is an absolutely great milestone to see accomplished. Capcom's Resident Evil 4 remake, a remake of one of the greatest games of all time, saw similar success across multiple platforms, from PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, as well as PC. The Resident Evil 4 remake sold a reported number of 3 million units within the first 2 days after its release. However, recently, and pretty surprising, it's been reporting to only sitting at 3.7 million total as of June 2023. But Resident Evil games have always sold well over time, being easy games to consume in their playstyle in that regard. Final Fantasy 16 was designed to appeal to a wider audience and bring in new fans to the franchise, which Sony leveraged as an exclusive to be a platform seller, which we have been seeing accomplished, especially after the demo release 2 weeks ago, which absolutely helped sell people who were previously on the fence for Final Fantasy 16. I've been seeing it happen in my communities and Discord as well, and in general, we started to see people buying more PS5s and bundles containing the game across social media. I am very interested to seeing the console sale numbers for this month alone when those finally come up a few days from now, as we are approaching the end of June. 3 million copies sold as an exclusive on a new and much smaller install base is really impressive. So again, hats off to Square Enix for that. More recently, Final Fantasy VII Remake on a larger established PlayStation 4 base in 2020, around 100 million total units sold, and towards the end of the console's life cycle, sold 3.5 million in 3 days. Currently, there are no exact numbers to say where Final Fantasy VII Remake currently sits, especially after now being on PlayStation 5 and available on PC. Hopefully, Square Enix does do an update this year on those numbers, because a lot of false reports have been coming out with Remake and people are using the original Final Fantasy VII as a metric, which is not true. It did not sell 14 million copies. Between all the controversy about promoting a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth around the same time as Final Fantasy 16 within the same fiscal year, I still believe ultimately this will help both games go on to sell even more than they originally would, as you do need a PlayStation 5 for both. Square Enix is doing a Capcom method right now, having their titles help each other out, and with Final Fantasy VII being the obviously more popular franchise, it'll only benefit 16 even more. It's a great business plan if you ask me, and judging from the Final Fantasy VII and 16 trailers of recent, as far as view counts goes, it just shows how hyped fans of both games are, especially with 16 hitting 3 million units recently. So a bright future is ahead of us for the Final Fantasy franchise and fans altogether. Final Fantasy 16 generally surprised me, as I was thinking 2 million would be the number that we hear about, and the game is now only just getting started. Between Sony and Square Enix, expect to see them start to push the game even harder now that a significant amount of players have already gotten their hands on it. It's been reported that in April 2023, PlayStation 5 sales had reached about 38.5 million. It's been about 3 months since then, and an update is to be expected soon. And I would bet that they are over the 40 million mark at this point. A big success for Square Enix, Sony, and Final Fantasy as a whole. Now, what else are you guys hoping for now as fans of the series? Yoshi P has been previously stating that DLC could be a thing that they do, granted, if the fans do want that. Is that something that you guys are interested in? What kind of DLC would you hope to see? Let me know in the comments below. Let's get a discussion going. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you are new. More Final Fantasy videos are on the way, and you do not want to miss them. My name is BltzZ, and thanks for watching.